As hard as it may seem to believe, Valerie Jarrett, who was Barack Obama's right-hand man, only she was a woman, right-hand man for the 8-year tenure that he was president, has moved in with him. She moved in with him, physically, literally moved into his house, according to this report. So the Obamas have like this, 40, 50-year-old woman they're adopting. Why is she moving into their house? Why did she move into their Washington, D.C. home? Well, according to reports, Barack Obama is effectively plotting a coup to oust President Donald Trump. And so their obsession, their occupation, will be to focus on that. And to get the job done, she moved into his house. Now, it's not totally bizarre because you got to keep in mind that she lived at the White House. During Barack Obama's 8 years as president, Valerie Jarrett lived there. I mean, she took up residence at the White House and now nothing has changed. It's almost as if Barack Obama, in his bizarre way of thinking, is still the president of the United States. He just happens to be not the president of the United States, but in his mind, he thinks he's still in charge. He just doesn't live at the White House anymore. He just can't write any more executive orders. He's still as crazy as he always was. Well, let's go over to the screen grab and let's take a look at the source story. This is dailymail.co.uk, dailymail.com. And this story is attributed to Leon Wagner, and it says this is an exclusive. So Daily Mail broke the story. And according to the headline, Obama's close confidant, Valerie Jarrett, has moved into their Washington, D.C. home, which, according to the story, is now the nerve center for their plan to mastermind the insurgency, I would say the coup, against President Trump. It's not a coup in the sense that Obama is going to literally move into the White House, but effectively, I think in his mind, he will still be pulling the strings. He'll be behind the scenes running everything. The guy really needs a psychiatrist or psychologist. He needs counseling. Obama's goal is to oust Trump from the presidency, the report says, either by forcing his resignation or through his impeachment. And the source for that is a family friend of the Obamas who apparently, supposedly, knows what they're talking about. This is attributed to, again, Leon Wagner. And the story goes on and it says Jarrett has moved into their 8,200 square foot, $5.3 million Colorama mansion to work closely with the former president and Michelle Obama. Okay, that's 8,200 square feet. That's a big house. In fact, you could fit 7 or 8 of my houses in their one house, and I'm guessing they probably have like a bathroom for every 1,000 feet. Probably have a spare bedroom. My guess is that Valerie has her own little apartment inside the house. That would be my best guess. This is really weird. I mean, it's just really strange that these people would be so obsessed with overthrowing Donald Trump that they would go to the point of moving in together. Now let's stop and think when this has happened before in the past, where when a president, after leaving office, became obsessed, I mean totally obsessed, with ousting his replacement. Can you think of any president in history that's done that? Not in my lifetime. The Bushes didn't do that, neither one of them. Bill Clinton didn't do that. I mean, not to this degree. Richard Nixon didn't do that. Gerald Ford didn't do that. Jimmy Carter didn't do that. I mean, he was kind of a nut, but he didn't go to this extreme. Who else is there? Richard Nixon, did I mention him? He didn't obsess with booting out the Democrat that ultimately followed him. To my knowledge, this extreme is unprecedented. The story goes on and it says Jarrett lived in the White House, dined with the Obamas, and helped shape his domestic and foreign policy, so it's nothing new. I mean, they're used to having her around. It's like they adopted her 8 years ago, and she's part of the family, so when the family moves, she obviously goes with them. Where else is she going to go? She has to live somewhere, so she's going to live with the people that she's been living with, her family, the Obamas. It's kind of like they got a third child, only she's like, 40, 50 years old? Obama cannot use his West End office, it says, as a post-presidency perk for political purposes. So he's got to work somewhere else. So why not just work out of your 8,200 square foot mansion? And then the story goes on, and it says that Attorney General Eric Holder, former Attorney General Eric Holder, said he's coming. And he's ready to roll. Who's that? Barack Obama. He's coming back. He's going to make his comeback. Do you get the impression that the Democrats are just desperate? Do you get the idea they're just kind of crazy? Just lost their minds? This is the other story from dailymail.co.uk or dailymail.com. It says, he's coming, he's coming. Newly rich Obama is ready to roll, says Eric Holder, after locking down $60 million book deal. Which I think would pretty much cover the cost of that new mansion in Washington, D.C. And I got to say, this is, I really feel sorry for these people because, you know, black people have been oppressed in this country. And I'm sure if he were white, he would have gotten like $60 billion for that book deal. And instead of living in an 8,000 square foot mansion, if he were white, he'd probably be living in like an 8 million square foot mansion or something with its own beach. According to the story, former Attorney General Eric Holder promised that his old boss, ex-President Barack Obama, would make a return to the political world soon. Is he suggesting that Barack Obama is going to run for office? And if so, what's he going to do? Is he going to be is he going to run for Senate again? He's got a house in Washington. He's got a house in California. I think he still has a house in Chicago. So where does he actually live? Is he going to run for office in Washington? What's he going to be? He can't be a congressman if you live in Washington. At least I assume it's in Washington proper. Maybe it's in a suburb. I just don't know that much. He goes on and says the story goes on and says Obama has been vacationing and just inked a $60 million book deal, which we already talked about. Holder and Obama plan to work for the National Democratic Redistricting Committee, which will try and prevent GOP-led gerrymandering. Good luck with that. I can almost guarantee you with 100% certainty, now that the Republicans are in control of both houses of Congress, if they have any sense, and I think maybe they are coming to their senses, if they have any sense, they're going to take this little window of opportunity, and they're going to arrange things to their advantage. This is exactly what the Democrats would do if they were in control. This is what the Republicans are going to do now that they're in control, if they have any sense, and I think they do. Okay, well, let's close out with this final thought. You know, the Republicans basically are in control. They're in control. I mean, across the nation, not just in Washington, but across the nation. The Democrats have a few little spots like California and Oregon and a few spots out, on the East Coast and the West Coast, where they still have these little pockets of control. But outside of that, Republicans are in control of the country. And I say that to say this, during the presidential primaries, the media was warning us, trying to scare Republicans into believing that if Donald Trump became the Republican nominee for president, that would be the end of the Republican Party. They would lose House seats, they would lose Senate seats, they would lose state legislatures, they would lose across the board. They'd lose governor mansions, they'd lose everything. So whatever you do, don't nominate Donald Trump. Well, looks like the media was wrong again, and now we've got Barack Obama on the outside with Valerie Jarrett on the inside of his outside, trying to oust Donald Trump from the inside out. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this on social media. Lower right-hand corner, there's a little button down there that says subscribe for your convenience. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment in the comment section below. We'd like to know what you think about Barack Obama continuing his legacy of being an idiot.
How to subscribe? Click subscribe. Click the bell. Check the box. Save.